But I want you to think about where you've been for the past years and consider, is it more painful to swallow your ego and potentially get rejected, or live alone for the rest of your life having never experienced love or never had a relationship or not having friends? What's worse? A few seconds of pain or an entire lifetime of pain? Hello. Today, I really want to talk about this idea that Alex Hormozi has presented to me through the podcast that he's done, through the books that he's written. It's basically this idea of cognitive reframing. So let me know if you've ever encountered this. Let's say you're planning on going to the gym. You want to do legs. You get a ton of anxiety thinking about squats because they're painful, they're uncomfortable. Realistically, how many people actively want to go out and do squats? So instead, you go to sleep and you decide you're just going to do it the next day, and you hold it off until you lose your consistency and your discipline crumbles. Maybe there's a hot girl on the street. You encounter anxiety and you decide not to take any risks because you're just too afraid to get rejected. Maybe you need to have a really difficult conversation with a loved one, but crushing that person's spirit is holding you back, and as a result, everybody loses, not just you. What if I told you there's a way to effectively deal with your emotions and your feelings that pop up and actually use those things to start progressing towards your goal rather than being hindered by these flimsy fucking thoughts and feelings and emotions that quite literally just go away every 20 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour? So basically, first things first, what we've been doing up to now, we understand it has not been working. When we listen to our monkey brains, it does not get us the result that we want. I don't know about you, but 25 years of listening to myself be afraid to get rejected, it has not led me down the path that I want. I want relationships, I want friends. And allowing myself to be controlled by my anxiety is not going to help me do that. So overall, we cannot trust our intuition. Our intuition is bad. Our monkey brain, bad. Cross that out. Stop thinking about what your brain wants to do, because up to this point, it hasn't led us very well. So what I want you to do is do the exact opposite of what your brain and body tells you if you want to grow. If you want to grow in the gym, when your body tells you it doesn't want to do more, that's when you find more. As humans, we really want to stay in homeostasis. Whenever we try to implement a new change, well, we have a ton of limbic friction and just a ton of resistance. Whether it be in our mind, in our body, depending what you're doing, whether you're doing squats, whether you're trying to learn. It's all about forcing a specific adaptation, and emotions and feelings can be used as a tool to fuel that adaptation. So the resistance that we encounter, well, it exists for the sake of evolution. I can understand why it'd be useful. If we keep ourselves in a small bubble, well, then things are less likely to kill us. If we don't try this purple flower that nobody eats, well, better safe than sorry, right? But in terms of progress, what we've evolved to in the last few hundreds of years, this doesn't get us where we want to be. When we don't allow ourselves to encounter danger, we can't possibly grow from that situation, because we're escaping it. The resistance that you're encountering is the very stimuli that tells your body and your brain that it's time to grow, depending on what you're doing. You can harness this stimuli and force the adaptation to become a better version of yourself. We know going against the grain is going to be really, really painful for maybe a few seconds. But I want you to think about where you've been for the past years and consider, is it more painful to swallow your ego and potentially get rejected, or live alone for the rest of your life having never experienced love or never had a relationship or not having friends? What's worse? A few seconds of pain or an entire lifetime of pain? If you use this resistance to your benefit, you will force yourself to adapt and learn. You will get more familiar with the task. If you've never approached a person on the street and you have crippling anxiety of going up to them, that anxiety will dissipate. It will get lower. You will handle the task better each time that you put yourself in that situation. Not only that, you'll actually build the skills to be good at that situation. Quite literally overnight, because sleep is an insane learning tool. So basically, we want to actively seek out discomfort for the sake of building the skill and building the discipline to take action when we don't feel like it. Note, when we don't feel like it. because that's the only thing that matters. Why? Because the results that you acquire are worth a ton more than the feelings that are actually holding you back, and you'll be much happier in the long term. So now, with that being said, each time we encounter anxiety, I want you to go into the thing that's bothering you just straight up head on. Do everything in your power to do the exact opposite of what your monkey brain is kicking at you to do. And the results that you get, regardless of whether you fail in the moment, over the long term are going to be so life-changing that you'll be sad that you haven't even started sooner. This is what happened with me in the gym. The difference between taking action and not taking action is quite literally a split-second decision. Your brain will pop up with these impulses. However, if you could kill that impulse and actually do what is logical, well, then you're going to have a really good life. Most likely, you'll actually be working towards the things that you have to work on, rather than escaping them all the time because you're just so in your head. As you do this more consistently, the strength of these feelings, the self-doubt, the fear of rejection, the strength of wanting to run away from those situations, well, it's going to dissipate, and you're actually going to be able to handle these tasks as if it's just going for a walk in the fucking park. Putting yourself in danger is actually very, very useful, as it turns out, for the sake of adapting to our environment and growing. As you put yourself out there more, you will get better, and as a result, you will have things to show for it in your life. Perhaps in the example of the random stranger on the street, you will end up having more friends if you actually stop letting your anxiety control you and decide to walk up to a person. Even if there's a 90% chance of getting rejected, that 10% is going to lead you to have a better life. So why wouldn't you want to do that? I don't know about you, but I would love to have more friends or meet random strangers because I feel like I don't do that enough, and I've let myself get held back just with my own fucking head my entire life. I'm honestly kind of sick of living this way. There's no point in allowing your emotions to control you. We have logic for a reason. We can control our monkey brains. We've evolved. We're incredible human beings. We are a lot stronger than our monkey brain is. Although it takes a lot more effort to get to that point. So, to recap, the original thought process that we had going into this was we have a desire. We want to go up to a stranger and talk to them. We have anxiety. And as a result, we choose to run away, which never leads to any results. With this new process, we can have desire, encounter anxiety, accept the potential consequences in a split second, flip the switch, and as a result, we can grow, build, and get results that we want. With this cognitive reframing thought process, we can turn the feelings and emotions that are holding us back in life into the things that we actually want to see. We can I hate using this word, but we can manifest the things we actually want in our lives. Perhaps anxiety isn't necessarily a danger signal in our super safe world nowadays. Perhaps it should be looked at as a signal to take action. And as a result, our lives will likely be much better. Same with depression. If you're feeling depressed, depression isn't telling you to sit around and wallow in your sorrows because life is insanely hard. Depression is telling you that life is really fucking hard and we need to adapt. And sitting around, I know I want to sit around, but sitting around isn't going to help you accomplish anything. And then once you do use that fuel to get out of your rut, well then you make a ton more progress than any normal person because that fuel is so powerful. Negative emotions, such as shame, are incredible learning tools. So let's keep that in mind. If you got anything out of this video, please like, please comment, please sub. I absolutely love you. Thank you for watching to this point. If you made it to this point, holy fuck, you're incredible.